podcast on your favorite football updates channel. It's a pleasure to be back with you on this beautiful Wednesday night slash evening, depending on wherever it is that you could be joining us from for this watch along between England and Croatia, in which England are leading by a goal to nil thanks to a penalty, thanks to a repeated penalty by Hurricane. That game is what is ongoing as we speak. So we'll be doing the watch along for that game as we talk sport in regards to all other things that have transpired through the course of the day. Obviously, I did miss today morning's podcast because of power challenges. Viola says, I'm here, I'm fine. It's good to have you, Viola. I hope you've had a better day, better than mine. And you're the first. Yeah, indeed, you're the first. Yeah. But are you? Probably you are the first. Yeah. Hope you've had a better day than mine. Mine has been a bit complicated, but largely frustrated by UEDCL. So far, it's a beautiful game to watch. England are looking to be on the front foot constantly, but they've only one goal to show for it, and that was a penalty. Hi, Reluctant Gamer. Reluctant Gamer, the only member on this channel. It's always a pleasure to see you around, my brother. I hope you're doing okay. You know, I don't know why. I have a bit of shade in my stream. You say, I saw Messi live. He's unbelievable even at his age. Oh, you saw him live, like you went to the game live, or like live game, you know, which is which? You know, there's being live on TV, and then there's being live in the stadium itself. So which is which? Yep, you're watching England. I'm also watching England. What's your prediction for England, Reluctant Gamer? Because for me, I went for a 2-1 victory for England. No, I wish I went to the game. I watched at home at 2 a.m. Oh, okay, brilliant. Half a loaf is better than nothing. I did not watch the live game of Argentina against Algeria. I watched the replay during this afternoon because I've had power challenges throughout the day. Somebody called it's Trixian, something like that, says hi to you. Good to have you on the broadcast. I hope you're doing okay. You said before the game, I thought England draw, but now I said 2-1. Also, hopefully they do better than 2-1. Viola says, I'm enjoying England. Good to know. Good to know that you're enjoying the game. Viola is going for a 3-1 prediction. Is that 3-1 for England? Because England are the home side. So Viola is going for a 3-1 prediction there. Who do you think will score England in second? And for Viola, who do you think will score the second and the third? And then for the side of Croatia, the first penalty, the initial penalty was saved, but because the goalkeeper left his line quite early before Hurricane played the ball, so he was penalized for that. The penalty had to be repeated, and then he converted from the spot. Hurricane, he still went the same direction with more power on it, and yeah, the rest is history, and England are leading by goal to nil. We've gone into the water break or the hydration break, which many have described as the commercial break, as opposed to it being the hydration break. Funny enough, or interesting enough, today I was watching a clip of an American citizen, quote unquote, for if their review of the World Cup is anything to go by, they're an American citizen, said they're not that interested in football, but for the first time they've been following football, and they've been watching almost every game that there is of the World Cup. I don't know whether in the stadium or, live at home on TV, but she was sort of appreciating the game, and some of the key takeaways that she's taken from the game, which includes the sportsmanship, when opposing players pat each other on the back, when players help each other stretch their muscles, that moment in the game when they're cramping. And then she was talking about the hydration break, and she said she's learned that it's for the first time that we're having hydration breaks. And I'm like, and she's like, this was supposed to be this should have been going on long enough, because you have these guys running the entire, for so many minutes, and she was wondering why the goalkeeper always has a water bottle, and then others obviously do not have, and things like that. So I found it really, really interesting. Anyways, for those of you that have just joined us, kindly like the broadcast, but also consider subscribing to the channel if it is your first time here. Robert Kesakos is my name, and it's 24 minutes past the hour of 11 p.m. here in Kampala. Let me see some of your comments. Reluctant Gamer says it's good seeing Bellingham, Rice, and Anderson are starting all together. People did not think they would all start together. I think, by the way, I was a bit surprised the inclusion of Jude Bellingham in the number 10 role, like right from the start on, because if our president is anything to go by, Thomas Tuchel had not indicated it to us that he was going to be his preferred choice of a number 10. But it's not to say that he's not fit for purpose or execute the role. He's definitely fit for purpose. I just thought probably it was going to be an Eberechi Eze or somebody else, maybe a Morgan Rogers let me hope I remember correctly that Morgan Rogers is part of that contingent for the England. Okay, let me come and respond to some more of your comments. There's something that I needed to confirm when it comes to, yes, I had hoped, expected an Eberechi Eze or a Morgan Rogers to start in that role. Okay, then of course they do have an Anthony Gordon there. But speaking of which, let's run through the sort of the starting 11s before I revert back to your comments, if it's not too much to ask. England have Jordan Pickford, Richie James, John Stones. Now, John Stones, I'm equally surprised. I thought it was going to be Mark Gahey, Ainsley Konsa, Nico Riley. Perfect, fair enough. Elliot Anderson, Declan Rice, Johnny Bellingham, Noni Madueke, Anthony Gordon, Harry Kane. Obviously, if Bukayo Saka was fully fit enough, he would have started ahead of Noni Madueke, but he carries that ankle injury issue that is sort of had him play very limited minutes, even dating far back to the business end of the season with Arsenal. On the side of Croatia, of course, they have everything, Pasalicic, Kovacic, Vucevic, those kinds of names anyway. But they have Livakovic in goal. They have Joško Vardiol, Vuskovic. This is, I think, the youngster from Tottenham Hotspur. They have Stalo. Yes, Stolar. They have Sushek. This is Sushek. Yes, they have Luka Modric, Stanisic. They have Ivan Perisic. They have Pasalic. They have Musa, as well as Batrina in their starting 11. So anyways, to revert back to your comments, okay, Vira said Rice. I think she meant who the next goal scorer for England is going to be. She said Rice. Hello, sir. I am from India. Please help me. Help me with $1,000. That is Bencho. Hello, Bencho. Good to have you in the broadcast. Unfortunately, I do not have $1,000 on me, but thanks for being part of the broadcast. People say they use hydration break for advert money. Well, it's the case of shooting two birds with one stone. That's how I see it. The hydration break is necessary, but then it presents you the opportunity to also run ads in between games. So, and I do suspect, by the way, that's the kind of direction we're going to take in the future, because as much as I would love the game to stay in what we are accustomed to, it's been more commercialized. So these kinds of things are going to happen and are going to continue to happen. I will not be surprised anything whatsoever if they are introduced in domestic leagues. And so for leagues to generate more revenue, more commercial revenue. So it's just going, it's an expectation that I have that in the future, it may not be necessary next season, but as things go on, as FIFA and other other continental competitions make it a routine, it wouldn't be long before it rubs off to other leagues. Okay, then Bencho says, hello, sir. Please help me with $1,000. I think I responded to that. All England fans just boo the hydration break cloud. Obviously, the fans in the stadia do not like it or may not appreciate it as much because it's viewed as an unnecessary stop to the game because we are not accustomed to it. It just happens with change. We do not like change. As human beings, oftentimes we do not like change, especially when we have not advocated for that change in sort of a mass advocacy. For example, if let's say people go out in the streets advocating that, let's say, ticket prices for traffic fines be reduced, let's say, from $20 for speeding or overspeeding to $15 or $10, and it's a mass request, then obviously people will welcome the idea. But if it's not been it's only been advocated for by a few people, usually, of course, in this particular case, it won't be a reduction, it will be an increase, then people are not going to like it. But maybe that's not the perfect example. I'll give you the example. We used to have scratch cards for our airtime, like the way you buy a lottery ticket and you scratch at the back of it, you have your lucky numbers. For us, you'd have digits that you'd then use a shortcut to dial those digits for airtime to be loaded onto your phone. So, and once they were abolished, people did not like the change, but it's something that they had to live with. Oh, brilliant ball by Noni Madueke. How did he miss? Oh, Judy Bellingham in the right place at the right time, but it just could not get to the end of that Noni Madueke cross. Yes, they should hit that like button, a reluctant gamer. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, Rice gonna score. That's from Viola. No, Bencho, do not ask for money. Viola, yeah, or Anderson. That's a reluctant gamer thinks that it could be Rice or Elliot Anderson. Hopefully, let's see how it goes. Hello, sir. I'm from India. Please help me. Bencho, I'm not in a position to help you. Very unfortunate. Raymond Kangoba says, hi, Victor Munoz should sign for Newcastle United now, and Victor Munoz should arrive. Okay, for medical, we'll have to wait and see, but I know the interest is there. Bencho, he cannot help you with money. That's from Reluctant Gamer. Raymond, you support Newcastle? Yes, Raymond is a Newcastle fan, and rarely does he come with a comment, regardless of what our topic is or subject matter is. Rarely does he come and he's straight to the point, or like his comment is on the subject matter. He will always come about Newcastle. It will be about a player he wants them to sign. It will be about Sak Ed Howe. It will be about Amanda Stevali. It will be about PIF, which is the private investment fund of the Saudis, and things like that. So that's Raymond for you, in case you're not accustomed to him. But yeah, he's a Newcastle fan, quite an ardent one. I think the medical will be at the America if he is there. He's part of the Spanish squad. Last I checked, I stand to be corrected to that effect, but last I checked, he is part of the Spain squad for the World Cup. That's a Victor Munoz from Osasuna. Yes, he's part of that. The 22-year-old is part of that contingent. Okay, then Raymond, you're repeating the same comment that I've responded to. Okay, hit that like button. Okay, Croatia are growing in the game. Yeah, the more, it's sort of similar. Okay, not similar, but the way DRC Congo managed to keep themselves in the game. Yes, they went a goal down, but they did not give away many chances. They stayed in the game until their moment came at the tail end of the first half that they got their equalizer through Yohan Wissa. And fortunately, I don't know, besides not being dominant on possession, they had the better chances. They had the better opportunities. Unfortunately, they were not clinical enough. because in some cases, Cedric Beckham was selfish or he could not hit the target. Raymond, please. It's now going to become spamming. I wouldn't want to put you on a timeout. I've already read the comment about Victor Munoz. Enough with it. Move on to something else. You know, do not be like those people that come and spam, the life. Just when you submit your comment, be sure I'll read it. Even if I skip it, I oftentimes go back and review if there's anything that I've skipped. So kindly stay within the confines of the accepted behavior of the fellows in the comment section. You say, Ray, news isn't true. We interested, but I don't think medical is in place. The interest is there, and the talks have been ongoing with Osasuna because because I think in his deal after leaving Real Madrid, there was the option for a first refusal. So that first refusal looks like Real Madrid are not going to be resigning him. So they'll instead be taking, I think, a 50%. They'll take a 50% off of the sale. That's the profit. So usually how sell-on clauses work is that if you buy a player, let's say for £10 million, and you sell the player for £20 million, and the previous club has a sell-on clause, the sell-on clause percentage is affected on the profit. So if you buy him for 10 and sell him for 20, that means the profit is £10 million. So if the sell-on clause is 50%, as is the case for Real Madrid with Victor Munoz, then that means you keep £5 million as your profit, and then the other goes to Real Madrid, depending on what the structure of the agreement was. Usually, clubs do agree to such deals. Oh, what a brilliant equalizer. What a brilliant equalizer. You cannot argue against that. And you cannot blame Jordan Pickford. It's 1-1. Emma Wing, I do not know what you mean by the silverback emoji there, but I am from the Pearl of Africa, and if you do ever get the chance to visit the wind impenetrable forest in southwestern Uganda, you'll have the opportunity to see plenty of those. We do have plenty of those within the confines of our green tropical environment. But wow, what a brilliant goal. What a brilliant goal. Jordan Pickford gets his palm to it, but it's just not enough to keep it out. Fantastic goal indeed, Raymond. Sorry, a reluctant gamer. Fantastic goal indeed. It is. And it's 1-1. It's 1-1. But Trina is the goal scorer to restore parity. You're ahead of me. I'm not sure I'm ahead of you, but I could be. Maybe your comment is what delayed a bit. It could be your bandwidth or mine. Sometimes, there's a way YouTube may freeze a comment before it relays it to me if it is reviewing it. Okay, to digress a bit back, you say, is he a good player? I never saw him before. Yeah, he's a very promising player. I think he scored about 6 goals and provided 2 assists. He's only 22 years of age. He's a prospectus player. He's a prospectus, a good player. So that's what you can bench on or sort of buy into. Okay. Yeah, you're about 10 seconds ahead for the game. Okay. Yes, Viola, it's 1-1. That was a brilliant equalizer. I mean, sometimes there are goals you concede and you just have to accept it's a beautiful goal. For example, when you go back to the 3 goals that Algeria conceded against Argentina or against Lionel Messi, you will at least appreciate that 2 of them were really, really brilliant goals from Lionel Messi. But for the second goal that he scored, I thought the goalkeeper should have done better in that, because yes, it's a shot from distance, but I mean, you can be pairing it in that danger zone area. You cannot be pairing it in that danger zone area. So I mean, it's you're going to get punished. You're going to get punished. So And England under Thomas Tuchel have been the sort of kind of team that do not give away so many chances. And in not giving away so many chances is that they sort of keep their spaces, especially in the defensive third, quite really, really tight. And it may take a bit of a special moment, if not a set piece, for you to sort of break through them. And you could see that Batrina's goal is that special for it to be the equalizer. Anyways, so in the context of then, meanwhile, I woke up very early, or at least in time, to watch the game between Jordan and Iraq. I thought it was a good game. Sorry, between Jordan and Austria. It was a really, really good game to watch between those two sides with Romano Schmidt scoring while Ali Olan, sorry, yes, Ali Olan did score to restore parity in that one, but that was in the second half. Then, unfortunately, Yazan Al Arabi considered an equalizer, sorry, an own goal in the 76th minute, and then it became 2-1. And then Mark Arnautovic from the penalty spot in the 12th minute of stoppage time made it 3-1 to stretch the game beyond the reach of Jordan. Of course, at that point, they had already lost. But I did not get to watch the penalty in real time because that's when Power blacked out. Power blacked out, and it's for that very reason that we did not have our morning broadcast. So it did not happen, just in case any of you was wondering. It was due to power challenges. And then when Power eventually came back, it went off at 9 a.m., came back at 3 p.m., and my fiber was broken. I had a broken fiber cable, so I needed to reach out to my ISP for them to liaise with the field team to have it repaired, and that's the only way I've been able to do the stream. So it's life. Sometimes things do not go according to plan, and today has just been one of those days where things did not go according to plan. But we sort of keep our heads held high, and hope for the best. Now, again, we're going to wait and see. But England look to looking to capitalize on set pieces because they've been really, really training set pieces with Richard James, Declan Rice, and Bukayo Saka as the designated set piece takers. So in case you see them being really, really aggressive with set pieces, do not be surprised. Oh, and it's a goal. I was just talking about set pieces, and Harry Kane has scored to make it 2-1 right from a set piece. Declan Rice corner kick, bang, 2-1. You know, so that's exactly it. So that story was broken. Was it by the Telegraph? No, I think by BBC Sport. Yes, by Sammy Mokbel of BBC Sport. He's the one that broke that story. That England were, were picking a page or taking a leaf out of Arsenal's playbook to sort of, concentrate more on set pieces, and it's just paid off. It's just paid off here. It's just paid off with Harry Kane scoring the second on the night to make it 2-1 as we head into almost halftime because it is 3 minutes from halftime. 2-1, Viola says, Stay Blink says 1 to 100. Hi, Stay Blink. Good to have you on the broadcast. I hope you're doing okay. Why are you joining us from Stay Blink 65? And what do you mean by 1 to 100? I thought you're going to say 1 to 99. 1% chance, 99% hope, usually. But yeah, brilliant goal by Harry Kane. But then that Declan Rice corner, it's almost routine for him because he's been doing that with Arsenal almost throughout the campaign. My sort of worry or concern was going to be about how England sort of set themselves up in that box area to attack the set piece because their routine is bound to be different from that of Arsenal. But yeah, that's sort of the direction where the game is headed. That set pieces are becoming more and more important, and the sooner teams prepare to capitalize on them, as well as prepare to defend against them, the better they will be. And I think Premier League teams have thus far done themselves really, really proud on that front, because you had multiple goals throughout last campaign being scored from set pieces. Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay. I don't think I missed any comments. Thought I'd missed something. Uh-oh. This idea of the center backs moving so wide, and you have the number 6 drop in between them in the absence of all your fullbacks, won't that come to bite them? Because it sort of leaves spaces. It leaves you sort of vulnerable in a way. The referee is, I'm forgetting his name. He's the French referee. Very, very common figure in the UEFA Champions League. I'm forgetting his name, unfortunately. Clement something. He's called Clement something. He's called Clement something. I'm forgetting his name. Okay. Jesus Christ. Meanwhile, after this game, there will be 2 more games to play tonight, at least in the wee hours of Thursday at 2 a.m. Ghana is going to take on Panama, and then Uzbekistan will take on Colombia. That's at 5 a.m. Now, I don't know. I would have loved to watch Ghana play. But 2 a.m. kickoff, that means I can only watch the first half, because the least I can afford is go to bed at 3 a.m. and then be up by 7 a.m. Okay, maybe 6, and see where it goes. Because then, in time for the morning podcast, that's if power does not go off. Because you could sacrifice your games and then you wake up to no power. That's also a possibility. It says a free kick and Richie James is at it. Takes it beyond the wall, but not the secondary wall. Barcelona fans must be watching with intent to see how Antonio. I knew it somehow. I forgot to charge my microphone, so I can only hope. Let me hope against hope that all will be well when it comes to that. You're the best. That's from PSD11S. You're the best. Thank you so much, PSD. Where are you joining us from? Kindly like the broadcast, but also consider subscribing to the channel since it's your first time here. Rio Dandy. Unfortunately, you're not with us. You're busy with the exams. I was going to tell you about. I saw the sub from your guy, the YouTuber from somewhere in West Africa. I forget his name. I need to look it up. What's his name? Yes, Noble's View. Hurricane left unmarked. Can see the England fans dancing to joy. Guys, you must be rich to watch this World Cup live in a stadium, because from what I've seen, from what I anticipate, the sort of those the tail end of the World Cup when it comes to quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. Eventually, the cost is going to be really, really high for those tickets. You know. England must be careful giving spaces away, especially in that sort of middle third area, closer to the 18 yards box, because it looks like the Croatians are not going to try and pass it until the box area. They'll look to go from distance. They look to go from distance. We are into the final minutes of the 5 added minutes of the first half before we branch out to the halftime. Oh, really? Oh. I have a question to ask football fans, but it's will it stand? It's a goal and it's 2-2. Wow. Looks like we're all wrong with our predictions because is he onside? The goal scorer is onside, but how about the assist provider? Rachel James's body positioning did not help Jordan Pickford have a good view of that one. Meanwhile, Hurricane is extended his 30 to 10 goals, and it's halftime. England 2, Croatia 2. Remember, I think in 2018, Croatia beat England to qualify for the finals of the World Cup before losing to France. Was it, I think, by 4 goals to 1. So, I mean, so this one has gone into halftime with a 2-2 sort of a scoreline. So that is what is happening. For those of you that care to know. So Viola, what did you make of the first half? Who was your standout player, and who, given by how the game has transpired thus far, who do you think is going to win this one? Because I mean, it's for me, it feels like both teams are willing to have a go at it. When you go back to when you go back to that time in 2018, Croatia beat England by 2 goals to 1 to make it to the finals, and then France beat Belgium by 1-0 to make it to the finals, and then France were crowned champions for the second time. In terms of that edition. Today, somebody was asking me a question of DRC Congo, whether they were at the World Cup 2018, and I was telling them no, and they were sort of objecting to that. And what most people do not remember is that, unfortunately, the World Cup has only been expanded for this edition to 48 teams. The other time we had 32 teams, so Africa had 5 slots. And that time in 2018, they took we took Senegal, we took countries like Tunisia, the World Cup. We took countries like Nigeria, that was 3. Morocco were there, and then the other was Egypt for the 2018 edition. And Egypt finished bottom in that one. I think it was it Senegal that made it out of the group stages with their 4 points behind Japan. Because remember at that time you are taking 12 teams. Sorry, no, it was actually the top 2 going through. Simple. Senegal only finished third, and they could not make it because Japan progressed at their expense. Vera is asking, wasn't the goal offside? No. The assist provider was onside, was deemed to be onside. Therefore, that's why the goal stood. Rashku says, it's coming home, lads. Somebody has spent part of the preview to this game or the preamble to this game telling me it's coming home. But let's hope so. But it's too early to say. Ordinarily, in competitions gone by, the English fans would wait until their team made it to around the quarterfinals before beginning to sing it's coming home. And unfortunately, they've fallen short on multiple occasions because when you go back to the Euros 2020 that were played in 2021, they made it to the finals and lost to Italy. 2024 made it to the finals and lost to Spain by 2-1. When you go back to the World Cup 2018, they crashed out at the semi-finals at the hands of Croatia, losing by 2-1. Then in the last edition, they crashed out at the quarterfinals. That was in Qatar. So really, when it comes to that, they've not been lucky. They've not been lucky really with the competition. But it happens that way. That's the nature of football. And they've been knocking at the door, and it was deemed that maybe Gareth Southgate was not going to be the manager that helps them cross the line. I mean, that Luka Modric incident, that's as accidental as they come, That's as accidental as kicks come. But unfortunately, yeah, you do not get away with it. So at the 2022 World Cup, England crashed out. They lost to France by 2-1. So they crashed out at the quarter-finals, and then Morocco beat Portugal by 1-0, and they made it to the semi-finals. Then Argentina knocked out Netherlands on penalties to make it to the semi-finals, and then Croatia knocked out Brazil. So my Brazil side always coming to the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and then crashing out. Painful, but we'll have to wait and see. Whether we can be good this time round. Okay, Lashkush says it seems offside. Don't know. It did seem to be offside, or on first glance, because the ball is floated in and somebody heads it back to their teammate. I'm trying to find what the name is, to Peter Musa. Yes, the ball is headed back to Peter Musa, and Peter Musa was in an onside position. So it's he who headed it back that many of us initially or at first glance thought was in an offside position, and that was Ivan Perisic. You thought almost he had veered off, but he looked to be onside. At least that's the judgment that is been passed. Okay, then when you look at England's second goal, I mean, how do you not mark Harry Kane? Because it looks like they marked the area or the space and forgot the men that would cause them the danger. So Viola maintains that England are going to win, given what she's watched of the second or of the first half. Then Lashku says England probably has the hardest opponent. I mean, in as far as fast games go, I think, yeah, this is a big one. This is a big one. Like I've told you, when you go back, we're talking about a team that has made it to the semifinals of the World Cup in the last two consecutive editions. You know, so in the 2018 World Cup, they made it to the finals after beating England in the semi-finals by 2-1. Then, when you look at the 2022 edition, they beat Brazil 4-2 on post-match penalties at the quarterfinals to make it to the semi-finals, and then eventually crashed out. So it's sort of when you look at it in that context, yeah, they have a very difficult opponent, because that was before they got beat by Argentina by 3-0, while France on the other side were overcoming Morocco to set up arguably one of the best finals of the World Cup that we've ever seen. Lashku says, yeah, Viola, Ken hat-trick today. Okay, Viola says Ken is coming with another goal. Wouldn't that be brilliant? I mean, guess what? If, regardless whether England win, draw, or lose, if Hurricane there scores a hat-trick against Croatia, you're never going to stop hearing of it. And the reason to why that will be the case is because they're going to make comparisons. They'll say, yeah, Messi scored a hat-trick, but he scored it against Algeria. Yes, and Algeria have not been good since since winning the AFCON title in 2019, and all that narrative sort of. I mean, I could almost imagine what the script would be in the Telegraph or in the BBC match report if that were to be the case, that he goes on to score. If he were to go on to score a hat-trick in tonight's game. But, I mean, if it does deserve it, if it does work hard for it, it's there for the taking. I mean, when you score a brace in the first half, yeah, you just need to keep your head up and hope that your teammates can create you the chances, and you never know. So, you never know. Anything can happen. Algeria did not make it to the 2018 edition of the World Cup. I don't remember them at the 2022 edition because there was Ghana, who by the way did poorly. There was Morocco, who finished top of their group. Now, the surprising thing about Morocco is that they came top in Group F, a group that had Croatia and Belgium, at the same time. Then we had Cameroon. Remember, Cameroon also did well, although they could only get 4 points. So, and then we had Tunisia in there as well. So, anyways, that was about it. So, but as far as this game is concerned, here are a few statistics that you need to reflect on. England's XG is really has been high. Okay, fairly high. 1.36 compared to 0.42 of Croatia. 2 shots on target for both sides and 2 shots off target. 5 shots blocked for England. Croatia dominating possession to the tune of 52% compared to 48% of England. Now, and yet England have looked better going forward. They've just not created many chances. At least they've not missed that many. Apart from that cross that was targeting Jude Bellingham by Noni Madueke, but Bellingham appeared to have been brought down after being bundled out by 2 defenders. Rooney will save England second half. That's KI. Which Rooney are you talking about? Is there a Rooney in this England squad that I'm not aware about? Indulge me on that one. Which Rooney are you referring to? Because by any imagination, I don't think the Rooney you're talking about is the Rooney that I'm privy to, because if we were to look at the England squad for the World Cup, I don't think there's any Rooney. I could almost Costa Palma Yericola in just first half with 3 goals. I can see you're taking the consolation, Viola. with Cole Palmer. But Jesus Christ. Okay, so in their forwards, you have an Ivan Toney who could come off the bench. You have an Ollie Watkins. You have a Bukayo Saka, a Marcus Rashford, because all the others have started. In Anthony Gordon, in Noni Madueke, in Hurricane. So, as far as the midfielders are concerned, you have a Kobe Mainu, you have an Eberechi Eze, you have a Morgan Rogers, a Jordan Henderson, if you want to trick things up a bit. But England need to protect their backline a bit more. The two defensive midfielders need to do better in not accommodating Croatia's forwards a lot of space and time on the ball in front of their 18 yards box, around that sort of zone, which we call the final third. Because as you saw, that was a well-timed run by Ivan Perisic. Batrina. Cristiano Ronaldo, speaking after their 1-1 draw against DRC Congo, he did say it's not the start we wanted, but this is far from being over. Focus on the next game. Now, at some points, I'd wanted for Cristiano Ronaldo to be withdrawn, but the longer Portugal went on without getting that second goal, the harder it became to withdraw him. And that's what I said. The challenge for Roberto Martinez is that once you start Cristiano Ronaldo, pulling him out when the game is not in your favor is always going to be a challenge. Paul says a second half goal, well offside. Oh, you say second goal, well offside. Honestly, I don't think so. If it had been offside, trust me, it would have been under the scrutiny of VAR because we've already seen a couple of goals being ruled out by VAR for offside. Yesterday, Lionel Messi, his first goal in the game was ruled out for offside. Algeria thought they had scored, but that goal was equally ruled out for being for the goal scorer for being in an offside position. So, Paul, I beg to differ. I really, really beg to differ. Humbly so. Humbly so. So, anyways, that is happening. Martin Batrina, the goal scorer, and Petar Musa, the goal scorers for Croatia, while Hurricane, that was well offside too. You say VAR is awful. Remember Switzerland penalty versus Qatar, that was well off too. I'm not saying that the officiation of the game is going to be sort of perfect to the T. I have no illusion to imagine that or to think it's going to be that way. But I don't think they've gotten much wrong thus far. Yesterday, there was what appeared to be a nasty tackle by Lionel Messi in that game against Algeria, and he could have been sent off, but he wasn't. Managed to escape with it. So some of these things are going to happen. The question now, guys, I put to you: if you're Thomas Tuchel, what changes are you looking to make in this game? Like which players are you looking to sort of call out, and who are you looking to bring on? First of all, and this is not immediately at the start of the second half, but I'm thinking around the 65th minute, I'm withdrawing Anthony Gordon for Marcus Rashford. I'm withdrawing maybe, let me see, Enoni Madueke for Bukayo Saka, Bukayo Oyinka Saka, Ayoyinka. And then midfield-wise, I could accommodate Kobe Mainu at some point. Then Oli Watkins could come in, depending on how the game goes. In that number 10 role, I would look to bring on Morgan Rogers first ahead for Judy Bellingham. It could be him or Eberechi Eze, but I think I'll put Rogers ahead of Eberechi Eze for the start of this one. So, and we see how it goes. So, Jesus Christ, why am I over yawning? Will I even be able to stay up to watch the Ghana game if I'm already yawning at midnight? Because it's 9 minutes past the hour of midnight. That means we're 2 hours away from kickoff. Okay, we are back for the second half. England 2, Croatia 2. No substitutions have been made thus far. Luka Modric is playing his 5th World Cup. Jesus, my Jesus, how are you doing, my brother? Y815. It's been a minute. The other day I was telling my followers that I've been wondering what you've been up to. I hope you've been okay. I hope you're doing well. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the coffee, Jesus. Jesus, if it's not too much to ask, I know you come randomly sometimes. I'd love you to become a member at some point of the channel. Reluctant Gamer is one of our members. I'd want your name to be in green. There are 3 different packages. One is for about $0.58. Another is for and onwards. So you can choose any that you find fitting for your taste. But you say I've been busy with work. Oh, understandable. But I wish you the very best of luck, and I hope you've been okay, even in the midst of that busy schedule. Are you enjoying the World Cup? Are you finding time to enjoy the World Cup? Meanwhile, England have scored a goal and it's 3-2. Judy Bellingham is the goal scorer. Uh-oh. Yeah. Is it Noni Madueke that provides the assist? Good run. I thought he was going to late for Noni Madueke, but he's gone on to beautiful stuff. You say I've been watching the World Cup at work when I'm not supposed to. Don't we all do those bad manners sometimes? For as long as you have your phone, can tuck it somewhere, or your PC, and then you plug in your earphones and you catch a couple of minutes. I know it's not the most comfortable because you, especially if you're streaming the game, you may have to keep switching tabs, or just not to be caught red-handed spending work time. Judy Bellingham trying to hype up the crowd. He's come so close. He's come close to scoring the second. The Croatian goalkeeper with a brilliant save. So too early to tell who's gonna be good. Yeah, too early to tell. But any particular game that you've enjoyed, or that has been a highlight moment for you thus far? Because for me, I've had a couple already. Of course, Lionel Messi's hat-trick, Cape Verde's goalless draw against Spain because of Vuckovic's goalkeeping. Oh, how is he missed from there? Nico Riley, come on. He's not marked, and he just could not keep it on target. Because Joshko Vardiol was just planted there like a dummy. Should be doing better. You may not get many chances. What team are you rooting for? as far as tonight is concerned, I'm rooting for England, but ordinarily I support Team Brazil. So Team Brazil is the team I support, and then of course, in this particular one, I'm rooting for England, and then all the other African countries. I wish them the very best. Against Portugal, I've been rooting for my DRC Congo because of Sebastian Dos Sabre. I've constantly spoken about my love for him as a former Uganda Cranes head coach. I've constantly said that every time we've gone to the World Cup, my primary African country that I support is Ghana. So in that sort of sense. Then if it's not an African team playing, and it's just a neutral game, I'll just enjoy it for the sake of it. For example, this morning, like I said, I was privileged to watch that game between Jordan and Austria, a beautiful game. I managed to catch the game between Norway and Iraq. Beautiful game. Brad Erling Haaland scored a brace in that one. Martin Odegaard, I think, provided the assist for the third goal. So some really, really beautiful action that has happened thus far. So, yeah. Okay. Adash says, hi, son of Africa. Hi, Adash. Good to have you back as always. I hope you've been okay. I've missed you for the last couple of, I think like a day or two. 1 or 2, 3 days, thereabout. Unity is strength, says Ghana. Yes, Ghana. Nana Akufo-Addo. Is he still the president of Ghana? I may not be up to speed with the politics of West Africa, but last I checked, it was Nana Akufo-Addo, the man in charge of the Ghana cities. How is Wodemaya? If you're Unity, if you're from Ghana, how is Wodemaya? Wodemaya, one of the travel vloggers from Africa, is quite a popular figure when it comes to this platform. Oh, what a beautiful save. Declan Rice forcing the Croatian goalkeeper into a brilliant save. He looked to use one of those defenders as his dummy, as a bit of a shadow to bend it in the far corner, and he did well. The goalkeeper did well. Livakovic, that's the Croatian goalkeeper. Vala is saying 3-2 full time. Vala is not expecting any more goals between now and then, but England have had 2 brilliant chances. One, that headed ball by Nico O'Reilly, headed wide of the mark, and then Declan Rice, who is just forced the goalkeeper into a brilliant save. It's another corner kick for England. Adash says, I love DR Kong. Okay, that's beautiful. DR Kong had a very, very good game today against Portugal. They were not dominant, but they played with a back five, masterclass of defensive masterclass, because they limited Portugal with all their beautiful talent to 1 shot on target. And that's the goal that João Neves scored with the header. You can imagine when you're talking about players like Bernardo Silva, Francesco Conceição, Rafael Leao, Cristiano Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, Vitinha, João Neves, João Cancelo, and Nuno Mendes. All that talent. Goncalo Ramos came on, of course, in the second half. All that was limited to only 1 shot like this on target. So the work done by DRC Congo was really, really commendable. I must say, other than Senegal, who got beat by 3-1 against France yesterday, and Tunisia, who got obliterated the other day by Sweden by 5-1, I think African countries thus far have done fairly well in the competition. They may not have all won, but I don't remember. I have a feeling there's another that lost. Maybe I'm just thinking, yes, South Africa lost to Mexico by 2-0 in the opening fixture. But other than outside of those 3 countries, the others have done well. they've done really well. They've managed to pick up a point or they've managed to win a game. Ivory Coast won against Ecuador by a goal to nil. Looks like Croatia are not prepared for Hurricane digging in deep and driving the ball from deep. He's trying to do that thing that he does at Bayern Munich. So when you look through the results, for example, DRC Congo against Portugal, 1-1. When you go to that game between Cape Verde and Spain, goalless. Egypt against Belgium, 1-1. Ivory Coast against Ecuador, winning 1-0. So, I mean, Morocco against Brazil, 1-1. I mean, those have been some really, really good results for African teams, especially bearing in mind the level of opponents that are, that they've been up against, and particularly Cape Verde against one of the, the tournament favorites. Oh, is that not a goal? Wow, brilliant goalkeeping from Viskovic. Oh. Wow. Nico Riley this time around, keeping his header on target. Then Anthony Gordon with the rebound. Obviously, a header again. England are looking the better side. That's why in the second half, they're looking much, much better. Much, much better. So, in other words, match day one is bound to be wrapped up actually, it wraps up in the wee hours of today. When Ghana take on Panama. Ghana is the last African team in action. And then Uzbekistan against Colombia. Then tomorrow we'll have games at 7 between Czech Republic and South Africa. Switzerland against Bosnia at 10 p.m. There's a corner kick. Okay. He's done better this time around. The goalkeeper in putting it away or out of the danger zone. Oh, come on. That's just a poor ball. Uh-oh. England. Oh, Hurricane missing an opportunity to make it 4-2 and missing a chance for a hat-trick. Wow. Wow. Anyways, so tomorrow we'll have games at 7 p.m. and at 10 p.m. and then at 1 a.m. and then at 4 a.m. So that's how the schedule will be leading into Friday. Oh, the defender did really, really well. Stayed ahead of Hurricane. Luka Modric has been withdrawn for, I think, Mateo Kovacic. Yes, Luka Modric has been withdrawn for Mateo Kovacic. But Olimbe Ganyo. How, Viola? I'm just enjoying the game, Viola. Dimitri is playing really well. Viola says for save again. Hi, AK says hi. Hi, what's the purpose of your life? What do you mean, what's the purpose of my life? The purpose of my life is to serve you people. It's to serve you people, That's the purpose of my life. Lads are playing so good. Yeah, England have been the better side, by far, by a mile, in the second half. Whatever Thomas Tuchel has told those boys at halftime is clearly watching. This is funny. What is funny, Viola? Me reacting to the near misses in the game? Is that what is funny? Okay. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's how we be enjoying the game. There's a saying, there's that saying in Uganda, wagira mnafafa byekanga. Oh, you wrote your comment in Uganda, Gunogunyuma. This one is interesting. Now, the translation by YouTube is that this is funny. Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay. My purpose in life is to connect with people. This is what I do here in the every single day. Connect with people through talking football. Yeah. Judy Bellingham has merited starting this game. Has merited himself starting this game. He's had brilliant performance, by the way. Thus far, particularly in the second half. This first half was not so good for him, but the second half he's come good. He's come really good. Meanwhile, Joao Neves was voted the man of the match in that 1-1 draw between Portugal and DRC Congo. Jimmy J. Morgan from Chelsea to West Brom. That deal was agreed for £4 million as the total package. Chelsea also included a future sell-on clause. Adash says Hurricane for Croatia. It's been a hurricane indeed thus far. Somebody out there in the stands has a replica mold of a World Cup trophy, quite golden, looking bright and shiny, more shiny than gold sometimes, but it's looking good. Rio Dandy, I was talking about you earlier. How are you doing, my brother? Good to have you. You say hello, sir, after quite a few days. Yeah, good to have you back, Rio Dandy. Your friend, I was talking about the other YouTuber that you mentioned, Noble View. He came by and subscribed to the Football Tribe UG channel, and I did return the favor. So, I know he's also doing a watch along, must be doing a watch along somewhere. So, good. But I hope you've been okay. How were the exams? Are you officially done with the exams, or you still have more to go? You medical people or medicine students do lots of reading, stuff like that. Sir is also doing a watch along, and my exams are still going. Oh, okay. We wish you the very best of luck in those remaining ones. I don't know how many they are, but we continue to wish you the very best. Yeah, but at least I've taken note of, I've seen Noble V. Okay. I think we're about to enter that zone where England are about to make changes, but they've had a brilliant second half thus far. Maybe Anthony Gordon has not had so good a second half and a game overall. United Road, you're looking for. Oh, I think this has been translated. United Road, Mononia, Yarika. Availa, United Road will be back soon. I don't know whether it's going to be today or tomorrow. I never know when they are going to come back until when such a time when they do. So, but I think he will be back. And at the first sight of him, I'll let you know. Noble's ethnicity is Nigerian, but he currently lives in China as he has been posted there. Okay. Yeah, I had the accent. Didn't I tell you it was from West Africa? Probably Nigeria or Ghana or something, but most probably Nigeria. Croatia were close to finding the space in the England box for a third. Let's see. Croatians are asking for a corner kick here. Christian Pulisic thought he was letting the ball go out for a corner kick. Okay. World Cup is coming home. That's Rio Dandy. Rio Dandy. You're from India. How is the World Cup coming home? Are you supporting England? Remind me, if, I stand to be corrected. Um, well, what is that supposed to mean? What's that supposed to mean? You know, I'm look, I'm the kind of person, by the way, who will celebrate a goal even if it is scored against my own team, for as long as it's a beautiful goal. Now look at the third goal that Kylian Mbappe scored yesterday. How do you not celebrate that goal? It was a beautiful goal. Look at Senegal's consolation goal. It was a beautiful goal. Um, Sir, but I used to live in England. A little business I do have for England and Chelsea. Makes sense now. Makes sense. Makes sense. But it's understandable. I wish England the best of luck. By the way, for those of you that care to be reminded, when you go back to the channel, under the I think the very last video that I made was about my favorites for the World Cup. And who are the favorites? And among those is Spain, is England, is France, is Portugal, is Argentina, and Brazil. You know, those are among my favorites. So that's how well I mean for England. And that's how much I believe in them. Okay, more changes. Pasalic also on. Jesus Christ. Some of his names are the same. Can see Eberechi Eze warming up on the sidelines. Stretching out there. Oh, I forgot to cry. My man left. Rio Dandy, I know you and Viola did not kick things off, but you're both Chelsea fans. Rio Dandy, help me console Viola in the best and simplest terms possible about the departure of her beloved husband, her beloved crush in Marco Cucurella. She's still nursing the wounds of his departure. She's still in deep sorrow. She's still in a moment of grief. But like I keep reminding people, be happy it happened, as opposed to being sad that it ended. So Viola, be happy that it happened, as opposed to being sad that it ended. So look at it that way, and try and find the positives in that. It's not as simple as said, but I know it's doable. So, but in the meantime, I'll not stop asking Rodandi to find the right words to, extend a message of consolation for you. But you can also come and we support Real Madrid together. So that's an open invitation. You can also come and we support Real Madrid together because, yeah, I do support Real Madrid. It's Enrique Consa and Johnston's backline. I support Madrid, but Chelsea is part of me. Okay, that's the beauty of it. At least you support Madrid. So, Anthony Gordon looking to hit it off, but got his attempt blocked straight up. I know Chelsea's first love. I know Chelsea's first cut. First cut is the deepest. But like I said, if it's any consolation, good to know that you support Real Madrid, and by extension, if you do watch a couple of La Liga games, or if you needed any motivation to watch La Liga games, then this should be it. Looks like Thomas Tuchel is having a couple of instructions for Jude Bellingham during the hydration break. Oh, come on. You know, okay. So beautiful second half we've had. It's almost been one-way traffic in terms of England being out there. So Cristiano Ronaldo was busy wearing a special legacy badge at the World Cup, and yet he could not score. Yeah, he had a couple of tap-ins that went wide. I need another guy who looks like him or David Lewis. Is it the hair that you're attracted to, or the character? And I understand the looks are part of it, but when you look at David Lewis and Marco Correa, their common characteristic is the hair. Maybe by extension, I can draw comparisons to a former Arsenal player, Matteo Guendouzi, who is currently at Fenerbahce after having had a stint at Lazio in Italy. So, unfortunately, you're not going to have a two-guy. You're not going to have a Tunkai Kamoglu. So I'm looking around that Chelsea squad, and they're all not big fans of having lengthy hair. And they're defenders. Oh, okay, they're defenders. Okay, let's look at the Chelsea backline. Levi Colwill, Tosin Adarabio, Benoit Badiashile, Axel Disasi, Wesley Fofana, Joshua Achepong, Rachel James, Jorel Hato. Who have I missed out? And none of them has long hair. Even if we were to go to the goalkeepers, in Mike Penders, in Felipe Jorgensen, in Robert Sanchez, what's the other kid? His name? I forget. I mean, you currently, if your insistence is with the hair, you're not going to get many. Bukayo Saka and Morgan Rogers are being, introduced. Declan Rice has been withdrawn. Marcus Rashford is also being introduced. I think that will be for Anthony Gordon. Bukayo Saka introduced for Noni Madueke. It's a trio of changes, all in the forward lines. And it's interesting to see now that Morgan Rogers is on the pitch, and it appears that Elliot Anderson is going to be helped by Jude Bellingham in the deeper midfield. Rachel James, you're inverting in midfield. By the way, speaking of jerseys, England have a nice kit. It's the red one that I don't like. It's the red one that I don't like. But this white one, yeah, count me in. Count me in. Count me in on that one. England fans, you can count me in on an England kit. Okay. There is no new desire. Temori njagala mupya. Uh-oh. Kaisaka could not have that ball ahead of him. Good recovery from England. Yeah, Viola, then you're going to have to be a bit patient and as Chelsea explore the market. In any case, you may need to write them an email to for them to sign that profile of player. Almost, it was almost a blind back pass of a header that Marcus Rashford nearly got to. Long ball from, was it Richard James? Gets intercepted by a defender, back passing it to his goalkeeper. Marcus Rashford nearly intercepted that one. All right, sir, bye. I have to leave now. I'll be frequently coming after 4 to 5 days. It's understandable, Rio Dandy. We wish you the best of luck once again in your exams. Leonetau says, when England scores from the set pieces, no one says nothing but Arsenal. Yeah, well, don't worry. We're going to have that conversation. We're going to have that narrative. We're going to have that narrative. And I want them to score more set piece scores in this World Cup, at least more than any other team, because they have the takers for the set pieces. That's not a good pass. Jordan Pickford forced into a brilliant save there. Rashford, come on, go for the ball. Why are you waiting for the ball to get to you? But that was a brilliant save from Jordan Pickford. Lion Tau. No more goals. No more goals. You never know. Football is football. England failed to capitalize on some of their chances to make it 4. And now it's Croatia starting to ask the questions. As the game is war on, it's Croatia that are starting to ask the questions. England have had 9 shots on target compared to only 2. Actually, it should be. Is it 2? No. Compared to 4 now for Croatia. 5 off targets. England dominating possession in the second half to the extent of 54%. But now they seem to have squandered it. Offside. That save from Jordan Pickford was really, really an important one. A ball was well struck, was well on target. More changes for the Croatians. Vasilic. Off for Vasilic. Sorry, Lasic. Mario Pasalic off, and Kramaric also on. Enrico Sa. Okay. Jude Bellingham has been withdrawn as well at last. Suspect, who is it going to be? Is it going to be Kobe Minor? As that was his goal scored in the second half to make it 3-2 in favor of England. He's been withdrawn for Dejat Space. Wow. He's coming in at right back. Does that mean Richie James gets to move into midfield? Interesting take. Yep. England have lost their momentum. Croatia, here they come. Beautiful cross. Oh, come on, Jordan Pickford. Should be keeping a hold of that one. Nah, shouldn't have passed it out there. The playing from out of the back has looked a bit cagey. It's not been very convincing, I must admit. Uh-oh, beautiful pass. What a save. What a save from the Croatian goalkeeper. Dejat Space got there fast enough. Tried to slide it in, but the goalkeeper was there once again. Call to action. Marcus Rashford could not get the better of his marker, but England have the ball back. The referee says there was a foul. Looks like England may need another goal. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit of a cagey finalization or ending to this game. It's looking far from being a comfortable victory for England now. Oh, Lily XU. Hi, Lily. England breathing fire after the second half. Yep. That's Lily. Hi, Lily. We're into the 84th minute of the game. We're into the 84th minute of the game. England still leading by 3-2. But Croatia asking the right questions. Bukayo Saka digging in deep, having to defend. Don't give away the space. Shoots. Kovacic shoots and Pickford saves. Wasn't the strongest. As Lily, bro, not Lily. That's Lille, not Lily. Lille. Okay. Apologies on the mispronunciation. Can Croatia score a last minute goal? Anything is possible in football. Anything is possible in football. It doesn't have to be fancy or pretty. It just has to cross the line and hit the back of the net. That's why you have a player like Bukayo Saka on the pitch. Oh, he escapes Rashford, and it's a goal. England 4, 4-2 at long last. They've sealed it. 4-2 for England. Beautiful goal. England scores. Marcus Rashford. But the key architect of it all is Bukayo Saka. That's why you have a player like him on the pitch. Very, very crucial in the build-up to this goal. Bukayo Saka with the assist to Marcus Rashford. Almost a hesitation there to shoot it first time. Controls it with the left and to his right and puts it beyond the reach of the goalkeeper. England 4, Croatia 2. Well-deserved victory. I don't think there's a way back for Croatia. Thomas Tuchel and his coaching staff there celebrate. Somebody in the crowd sprinkling the drinks over his mates there. I hope it's not beer. I remember I was watching a game somewhere in a public place and somebody celebrated. This was the day Arsenal were being crowned champions and then spilled beer on us. Jesus Christ. I don't take beer. Anyways, that's the joy. 4-2, well, I say. Yeah, 4 goals last gosh. I don't think any of us would have seen this scoreline coming. Mark Gahey is being brought on. John Stones will be the player that paves way. You can see the Croatians quiet in their misery. That's the story of football. It's where the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat come together in one place, with the losers on one side and the winners on another side. We're into the 88th minute of the game. Elliot Anderson, I think he's been sublime in that midfield. Hurricane with the captain's performance, dropping in deep, helping the team. He's done well. Rashford with a blind pass, attempting to find his captain. Elliot Anderson does not tire in giving chase. Manchester City are interested in services. England, here they come again. Dejad space. Could not keep it in. He could not keep it in. He has a jaw bracelet because he injured his jaw. Go O'Reilly. This England midfield has been so mobile that the deep lying players move out of the midfield and then the fullbacks inverting, almost creating sort of a vacuum space. So if you're going to track them as outside, Oh, beautiful, beautiful game. Quite the scoreline, 6 goals, 2 in the second half, 4 in the first half. Quite the distribution. Is an England player down. Hurricane. 6 minutes of added time. 6 minutes of added time. As he clipped on the ankle. Uh-oh. You can't stop running. Morgan Rogers has had a quiet cameo. Here they come again. Croatia. Oh. That should be a free kick. Come on. Just a throw in. But Hurricane did clip his ankle there. We're into the 3rd minute of stoppage time. Ivan Perisic. Oh. Today's game was so lit. Yep. It's been a massive game. Quite massive. Very entertaining. Forget the muted performances of Spain, of Portugal, and everything in that line. This has almost felt like sort of a quarter-final kind of game. That sort of level. That's how good it's been. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He was lucky to get away with that one. He's lucky to get away with that one. It's a corner kick for Croatia. Haven't made much of their set pieces. It's almost hard to hide in the advertising boards. Oof, what a save that was. And here they come, England on the counter. Marcus Rashford and Bukayo Saka. Uh, ah, Marcus Rashford could not keep it together this time around, could not hold on to it. Harry Kane is cramping. Harry Kane with the all-important block. With the all-important block to make sure it stays 4-2 in favor of England. Imwalia, you're my brother. Love from India. Thank you so much. Love from Uganda to you too. Back. Thank you so much. Hi, how are you? How has been your day? Good to have you on the broadcast. I hope you're doing all right. Vela says, what a serve. Yeah, it was a block from Harry Kane. Brilliant, timely intervention. We're into the final minute of stoppage time. Harry Kane rushed that one and put it way beyond. Anytime now, from now, the French referee Clement will be blowing his final whistle. You're doing so good. Keep it up. Thank you so much. Imwalia. Sounds like a unique name. It's game over. England 4, Croatia 2. Beautiful, beautiful game of football. Almost felt like that knockout sort of stage kind of game. That's how beautiful it's been. It's not given me the impression that it was a group stage game, that it was a first game of the tournament for both teams. Marcus Rashford, Jude Bellingham, and a brace from Harry Kane were enough to put England ahead, while on the other side, it was players like yes, Viola, full-time score 2-2, while players like Martin Batrina on the other side and Peter Mosa were the goal scorers for Croatia. Those two first half goals that sent the game up square at halftime is where the Croatians ended. But England came back with a much, much better second half display and mindset altogether, and they've managed to win it. Could have been more, but you ought to give credit to the Croatian goalkeeper for all the brilliant saves he's made throughout the course of that game. Imari says, tell me about yourself. New here. My name is Robert K. Sakos, and I do come to you live from Kampala, Uganda. That's the Pearl of Africa. Somewhere nestled in the eastern part of Africa, neighboring countries like Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, South Sudan in the north, and DRC Congo, as well as Rwanda in the southwest. So it's approximately 2 minutes past 1 a.m. Here in Uganda. So we're already into the 18th day of June 2026. So it's already Thursday for us. I understand it's already Thursday for you as well in India. Should be around 3 a.m. or coming on to 4 a.m. thereabout in India, I suspect. Me and my friends support you. Thank you so much. I hope you've liked the broadcast, but I also hope that you've considered subscribing to the channel. Team India, thank you so much. A lot of people from India have been very, very kind to me. They've been very, very supportive in terms of this channel and the history of this channel. Next month, but one, that will be August. We'll be celebrating 3 years, and I owe a lot of love and support to Team India. Majority of them come as cricket fans, but they add a voice to this channel for football. Who was the man of the match? I mean, there's so many beautiful, good performances out there. It's really, really hard to choose spot on. But I think Harry Kane is one of those that deserve it. Has had a really, really good game. So I would give it to Harry Kane. in my humble opinion. But Jude Bellingham equally had a good game. Elliot Anderson has had a brilliant game. I had no bone to pick with Richie James, had a good game. So yeah, those would be my standout performers. But I'd say Hurricane, Jude Bellingham, Elliot Anderson, for me, have been the better performers on the night. But I mean, if it was not a given that the man of the match award goes to the winning side, I would have given it as well to the Croatian goalkeeper. He may have conceded 4, but the amount of saves that is made in this game has been quite impressive. That is for Livakovic. It's been really been brilliant for him, a performance or a display thus far. Okay. Imwania says, like India, bro. Okay. All right. So, I mean, when you look at the overall game statistics, England had an XG of 2.02 compared to Croatia's 0.72. They had a total of 11 shots on target compared to only 5 for Croatia. They had 6 shots off target compared to only 3 for Croatia. Jordan Pickford did not have many saves to make. I think he made about 2 saves in the game throughout. For him, about 2 or 3 thereabout for Jordan Pickford, while I don't know why his name keeps eluding me, but Livakovic, yes, made as many as 7 saves in that game. So that tells you quite the display he's had throughout the game. Yes, he may have conceded 4, but you remember he had made the initial save on the penalty. Had he not left his lines really early, he's been quite a standout performer on the day. But oftentimes, as the norm is or the practice is, the man of the match award goes to the winning team, and I'll not be surprised if it is handed out to Hurricane or Elliot Anderson or Jude Bellingham. But more importantly, could be Hurricane that takes it home. I hope that answers your question. Oh, you're already asking, Ken? Yeah, really would be deserved for him to, take it. Beautiful stuff. Anyways, so those are where the goal scorers for the Knights. Obviously, the other goal by Bellingham, I don't know why the assist was credited to Ivan Perisic. I don't know, but anyways, we'll see. But beautiful game. Like I said, worthy of being a knockout game, worthy of a performance from a team that is dubbed as one of the favorites for the tournament. Are there things that they could improve on? Most definitely, yes, because they conceded 2 goals in that game. Let's not forget the manner in which they conceded them, part of which you thought that the defensive pair slept on the job, particularly for that second goal, because, guy wins the header off of you guys and heads it back to Peter Mosa before he scores, and then the first goal you'd want your midfield to be a bit more compact or to close down spaces early on to avoid the attempts from distance. But that first goal was really beautiful. You do not want to be too picky or very nitpicking when it comes to apportioning blame. But overall, a beautiful performance. Okay, you need to support Ronaldo this time around. You need to defend too. That's from Viola. Let me hope that's what you typed. Now, I need to defend. Oh, supporting Ronaldo. By the way, it's not that I don't support him. And I remember we were having a conversation on TikTok. I don't remember. I think it was on SK Space. The likes of Romancy, Mr. London, and others were there. And they were asking me for me, who was I rooting for? I'm like, I thought I've never been in that space where I've ever chosen Messi or Ronaldo. Like, I've never been that sort of person that I'm like, for me, I'm rooting for this one entirely. Really, I've always liked Ronaldo, and I've appreciated what he does just as much as I've appreciated what Lionel Messi does. The constant comparison between the two players is almost religious. It's always going to be there. It's something that we cannot avoid. I'm not one that does appreciate it, but for as long as one does something, the comparisons are going to be brought up. So it's not like I don't support Ronaldo. I like this Portuguese side. They're really, really good team. I just want to see them execute on the pitch, because if they don't, then this is going to be the last dance for him at the World Cup. It's going to be the last dance for him for a World Cup. Then I'm also of the view that sometimes his presence on the pitch causes them to play a certain way, ideally that they wouldn't play if he weren't on the pitch. So that's why my advocacy was for him to be starting on the bench. Because let's be honest, his game is much slower. His athleticism is no longer at its best, and nor should it be, given the age. His effectiveness overall is not as good. He still does score the goals. He's still capable of coming with the good moments, but the effectiveness is not as what it was yesterday. So, and yet it feels like it's harder to withdraw him, especially in the manner where you find Portugal that they're not leading the game. For example, if they had been leading that game by maybe 2-1 or 3-1, I'm sure Roberto Martinez deep down inside would have found it easy to withdraw him. But he's that sort of player. And I saw Lionel Messi being withdrawn. But the same can be said for Lionel Messi. Even if he were to be having a bad game, it sort of takes a lot of... Let me not use the words. I was going to use the word. But it takes a lot of nerve for a head coach like Lionel Scaloni to withdraw a player like Lionel Messi. But yesterday, it was easy for him, or this morning, it was easy for Lionel Scaloni to withdraw Lionel Messi because he had scored a hat-trick already, He had even scored another that was ruled out already in the game. So he had a brilliant game. So, but if the roles were reversed, I'm sure he wouldn't have withdrawn him, because he's the kind of player that is equally capable of a moment of magic. So that's how I would put it. Okay, is Boadi coming to Chelsea? Is good replacement for Cucurella? No. Viola, Boadi is not a left back. Boadi is a central midfielder. You're talking about the Moroccan player that played in that central midfield for Morocco against Brazil, the one that everybody's been speaking about, Ayoub Boadi. He's not a left back. And therefore, if he were to come to Chelsea, he wouldn't be coming as a replacement for Marco Cucurella. But in terms of hairstyle, you'll be having the perfect crash. In terms of hairstyle, he plays as a defensive midfielder. He's at Lille. He's only 18 years of age. So that's the player you're talking about. And remember, it's not only Chelsea that are interested. PSG have been linked with a move for the same player. Arsenal are interested. Liverpool are interested. So again, we just have to wait and see. But if he goes on to have a brilliant... apologies for that internet glitch, but if he goes on to have a brilliant game, World Cup, if the first game is anything to go by, then it's only going to improve his stock value in as far as the transfer market is concerned. But at present day, he's valued at about £60 million, thereabout. So let's wait and see where the dice, in which direction the dice will roll, and we see about that. So, but for me, when it comes to Cristiano Ronaldo, Portugal need Roberto Martinez need to he needs to have some authority. Okay, he has the authority, but he needs to have that conviction in his judgment that when it's time to withdraw Cristiano Ronaldo, it should be that, that it should be that, and he should be willing to make the decision, for the benefit of the team. Because ask me what Cristiano did in today's game, and I can hardly remember, apart from 2 chances that fell for him, and he put both wide, So anyways, coming up at 2 a.m. is the game between Ghana and Panama. Apologies on the internet glitch there. Yeah, network is bubbling up. I don't know what's causing it. I hope it doesn't drop again. But yeah, apologies on that one. So I was saying, Uzbekistan have a Premier League player in Kushanov, the Manchester City defender. In as far as Colombia are concerned, they have a player like Luis Diaz. For those of you that could be wondering what players you may be seeing from Colombia. Jesus Christ. Okay. It's now clear? Okay, good. As worried. So, Colombia has a couple of players that are maybe known to some of you, like Davidson Sanchez, formerly at Tottenham Hotspur. He plays for Galatasaray. James Rodriguez, formerly at Real Madrid, had a stint at Everton, currently plays for Minnesota United. David Ospina, currently playing at Atletico Nacional, had a stint with Arsenal and went to, was it Napoli? Somewhere in the Italian Serie A. So then expect to see players like Andres Gomez from Vasco da Gama, Luis Diaz from Bayern Munich, then John Arias from Wolverhampton Wanderers. Excuse me. Those are some of the players that you should be expecting to see for Team Colombia. But Colombia is one of those teams that are capable of coming up with some really, really good performances. So you may want to keep your eyes on them. They also have a Jefferson Lemar from Crystal Palace. Anyways, so then when it comes to Ghana, I mean, Ghana, as much as I wish them well, I mean, sometimes I reflect on some of those players, those that are sort of popular figures. Of course, unfortunately, Thomas Partey was not granted a visa to Canada, so he's not going to be part of that game. When you look at players like Jordan Ayew from Leicester City, I mean, he's past his prime. You really look around and you're thinking to yourself, this Muhammad Kudus is not been at. He spent the better part of the season out through injury. So I don't even know whether he made it to the final squad because he was out through injury. Then Anton Semenyo, maybe from Manchester City. Those could be some of the players that they look to for inspiration. Inaki Williams, I mean, he's never looked really, really brilliant for me in Ghana colors in terms of his performances. I don't know if this is going to be the World Cup that he does it. Just thinking out loud. Remember, they swapped out their head coach. They let go of Odo. I think it's Odo, something like that, the name. And then they brought Carlos Queiroz, the former assistant to Sir Alex Ferguson. So they're in that sort of space. Anyways, let's get talking to some of the transfer gossip and speculation as compiled by BBC Sport. So in the latest, we have Manchester United and Tottenham have made moves to sign Netherlands forward Crescencio Somerville from West Ham. That's according to Team Talk. Earlier on, I did see a report that was suggesting that Manchester United are interested in both Matthias Fernandes and Crescencio Somerville, and that it could cost them in the region of £150 million. I mean, that's gargantuan. I don't think that's the correct valuation. Anyway, Chelsea are monitoring 26-year-old Porto goalkeeper Diego Costa. That as they consider moving for the £51 million rated Portuguese international. That's according to the Mirror. Chelsea are also interested in signing Italian fullback Andrea Cambiaso, 26, from Juventus, and could offer Senegal striker Nicolas Jackson, 24, as part of the deal. That's according to Gazzetta dello Sport in Italy. Then Real Madrid's bid for Atletico de Madrid's Argentine striker, 26, was a phantom offer, with Bayern Munich's Michael Olise their top targets, and Real remain hopeful of signing the 24-year-old French winger. That's according to Mundo Deportivo in Spanish. Now, if Real Madrid were to pull off the signing of Michael Olise, in itself it would be brilliant, marquee signing. But Kylian Mbappe would have to do a lot of work in helping Real Madrid get that deal in the pipeline. I mean, he's his national teammates. So Kylian Mbappe, Chouameni, they would need to keep in that inbox of, Michael Olise convincing him that making the switch from Bayern Munich to Real Madrid, or from the Allianz Arena to the Santiago Bernabeu, is the next best thing since sliced bread. So, okay. Then Manchester United have no plans to negotiate a new loan agreement with Barcelona for England forward Marcus Rashford. That's according to ESPN. While Tottenham have turned down a second bid from Brighton worth £35 million for 19-year-old Croatian centre-back Luka Vuskovic, who spent last season on loan to Hamburg. That's according to Sky Sports. Looks like Manchester United want to sell Marcus Rashford. They are not going to entertain any of Barcelona's nonsense, at least according to Sky Sports. So Chelsea, Tottenham, Newcastle, for £40 million, you could sign Marcus Rashford. Think of it that way. But Liverpool and Manchester City, don't even think about it because he's not available to you. Or if he were to be available to you, it has to be for a significant fee higher than that. Viola, you say we need him. Yeah, I think you could use a player of his type. For £40 million, first of all, that's not too much money for a player like Marcus Rashford. But he should be willing to take a pay cut of that gargantuan wage of about 350 grand a week. So then, because, you have Garnacho. If you spend £40 million on Garnacho, how do you convince me that Marcus Rashford is not worth it? Anyway, he can play centrally, although he prefers to play wide, off the left wing, But let's see how it goes. Let's see how the summer goes. Meanwhile, I'm also watching our boy, Andrew Cabora, here on Sky Sport, on Super Sport. Then Tottenham have opened talks over deal for German under-21 forward Saidi El Mara from Cologne, and hope to beat Newcastle and Nottingham Forest to the 19-year-old's signature. That's according to Team Talk. While Lazio and Feyenoord are both monitoring the future of Manchester City's 20-year-old English midfielder Charlie Gray, according to Football Insider. While Gotham FC have agreed terms with 32-year-old Australia forward Sam Kerr, who is a free agent after leaving the Women's Super League side, Chelsea. So that's a Chelsea female player. I don't know. For some reason, I don't give female football that much attention. And I don't think it's not even that much attention. A lot of attention, I should say. If I find a game, a high-stake game, a UEFA Champions League semi-final game, I'll watch it. I remember watching the final between Arsenal and Barcelona. That was last year, 2025. But in terms of dedicating my time to ladies football, not really. But I remember back in the days, like in 2000 and either 6, 7, or 8 thereabout, in between there, I used to love women's football, but that was at international level, you know. So I remember watching one of those competitions, not to full extent because of the responsibilities of school, but yeah, as in that sort of space. Anyways, guys, it's I don't think I'll be in position to do the watch along for the game between Ghana and Panama. I don't think I have the bandwidth for it, as much as I would love to stay on and do it. Maybe, nah, I don't think so. As much as I would have loved to. Okay, but we'll have to wait and see. Then Martin De Michelis is the new head coach for RB Leipzig. So that deal is a done deal. So just wait for the official announcement to come. Then Inter Milan did agree a deal to sign Ivan Provadel as the new goalkeeper from Lazio for 3 million euros. Provadel will sign a 3-year deal and join as a backup goalkeeper for Josep Martinez starting next season. I remember Jan Sommer is expected to leave the club, so that one is also there. Okay. Have we not had enough for today? For the last 2 hours and 5 minutes, Morgan Rogers said that he wants to join Arsenal. Yes, according to the Hand of Arsenal, he did say that Morgan Rogers' preference will be to join the Arsenal project. But he does acknowledge that there are other clubs that are interested in his services, Manchester United being one of those, as well as Chelsea. So we have to wait and see. Arsenal have been in touch with Morgan Rogers and are also having talks, not at a high level, but sort of between, I think, through intermediaries with Aston Villa over the potential circumstances of the deal. But then Arsenal trying to compare because they are also interested in PSG's Bradley Barcola. So for me, if you ask me, for Arsenal, I do not think this is it will be ideal. Okay, it will be okay if Arsenal can sign both players, Bradley Barcola and Morgan Rogers. But if I were to compare and choose one of the two, I'm more tilted towards Bradley Barcola because at least he's an outright winger. Because in Morgan Rogers, technically, you have a similar player in Eberechi Eze. So that's why he wouldn't be a priority for me. In my humble opinion, I'd rather a Bradley Barcola over Morgan Rogers. When you talk about price tag or how much it would cost you, it's roughly the same. You know, it's roughly the same. So that's how I look at it. Now, for Chelsea, again, because they have Cole Palmer as the de facto number 10 or in the number 10 role, the question would be is, can they guarantee him playing time in terms of being a starter? If you're looking at him as the the left winger, yes, he could start ahead of many of those Chelsea players. So I have to think of it that way. No changing captain in Arsenal. Now, that's a bit of a hot topic because I'd want to look at it this way. It's not as simple as it sounds that you get to switch the armband from this player to that player. One, for example, in taking the armband off of Martin Odegaard and let's say hand it to a Gabriel Magalhaes, a Declan Rice, or whoever it may be, would be a vote of no confidence in Martin Odegaard in the first place. So then the question would be, do you part ways with Martin Odegaard or do you keep him? He may not be desperate to leave, but once you switch responsibilities, he may want to then leave. You would not be short of market for a player like Martin Odegaard because Inter Milan have been reported to have interest in his services. However, they've not made that interest firm with an offer. So it's a bit of a sort of a slippery slope to walk down. Hello everybody. Hi United Road 10. Thank God you're here. Viola was asking me where you are. And unfortunately, for me, I don't even know where your address is. So I had zero idea. But now that you're here, please speak for yourself and respond to Viola. So that's how I look at it. I understand a manager can choose to be ruthless to say the same way. I think I remember at Manchester United it was done. The captain's armband was withdrawn from Harry Maguire and given to Bruno Fernandes, as I remember it. I know those things have sort of happened. I remember Kieran Trippier at Newcastle being stripped of the captaincy and the armband was handed to Bruno Guimaraes. Now, I remember he ended up staying at Newcastle, but it wasn't at the best of times. You know, if wishes had been horses, he would have left. And he's eventually left this summer and he's joined Wolverhampton Wanderers. So it's a bit of a delicate path because even if you were to say Declan Rice is number one captain and Gabriel Magalhaes, and you want to keep him as a deputy, it would still be a downgrade. You know, it would be like going from being the headmaster to deputy headmaster or head teacher to being deputy head teacher. You'll definitely have to switch offices, you know. So look at it that way. Now, as the practice has been in recent times, is that it would be put to the players to sort of choose who they wanted to be their captain. I don't know if it's a secret ballot or if it is by show of hands. But whichever way you do it, I still wouldn't understand the desperation of wanting to change captains. I mean, for me, does it matter who wears the armband? Yes, it does matter. But leadership is about what you exhibit. If you're naturally a leader, you do not have to wear the captain armband for us to acknowledge your leadership. No, you just have to lead. You just have to do it. You know? So that's how I would want to look at it. Anyways. Okay, I can see the exchanges are already ongoing. I hope they're as favorable as they can be. Okay. Pay me fast. Viola, are you inviting United Vote to pay you a visit, or you want to be paid in a currency worth more than money? Lolo, you told me that Brazil gonna win Amia after the match. Oh, okay. Oh, so in other words, he lost the bet to you. Okay. United Road, please pay up. Please pay up. And the only way Viola can receive is through me. So you can just click on that super chat button and come good. And come good. So let me see. Viola, it's not my fault Cunha didn't start Lolo. Don't make it about Cunha. Don't make it about Cunha. That's the biggest excuse and most flimsy excuse that I've seen in as far as football is concerned. Was Cunha going to play alone? You know, there's a gentleman who loves football, perhaps in more ways than I do. Renowned radio presenter and TV show host. When he starts speaking about Lionel Messi, he's the kind of person that could easily sell you this idea that as though Messi can be a man of his own in a team. Like he can play, you can play a game where it's Messi versus the rest of the world, kind of, or versus the rest of the other team. No matter how good a player is, the one thing I'll never forget is that football is a team sport. That you can never convince me otherwise. No matter how great a player is, you can never convince me that football isn't a team sport. Is it true that some players contribute more than others? Most definitely. It's just the nature of the work environment. There's a reason as why somebody is CEO and another is administrative assistant and another is a head of marketing and another is a head of legal affairs or customer experience and another is cleaner or something like that, because their overall contribution to the company is not the same. So even in a game of football, some players are bound to contribute more than others, but it does not negate the idea or the fact that it is a team sport. So, okay. Never bench United Stars? Really? Come on. How many Manchester United players are at the World Cup? And which Manchester United player started in that England team? Because I don't remember any. I know you have a lot that have away with their respective national teams. I saw Manuel Ugarte with Uruguay, for starters. I know Altay Bayindia is with the Turkish national team. I know Bruno Fernandes started against Portugal. That's all true. But let me not say. Anyways. Okay, Lolo, let us sleep. She wants a visit. She says, money, I need to give her cash, not bank transfer. Cash? That sounds like a bait. United Road 10. That sounds like a bait. You want to give her cash, not bank transfer? That sounds like a Hail Mary being thrown out there. Send address Viola. Lolo, it's the Truth Tribe. Okay, United Road Football Tribe is going to give you his location. My location is here. My location is here. And the beauty about this is that United Vote 10 is not a tech novice. So he knows the buttons to click on there to either subscribe for membership or to super chat me, through which he can, come good for you. So just pay up. After all, you are not committed to a particular amount, right? It's oftentimes our colleague Reluctant Gamer who tells me, if you predict this game right, I'll super chat you maybe £2 or £5 or something like that. Okay. You need X Factor international football. What England did today with the athletics profiles isn't sustainable. Croatia were very open. Okay. Okay. We have a lot. Not many started for England. That's the problem. Croatia were weak, but England didn't look sustainable. Most games will be much tighter than this. By the way, I did not expect England to play the way they played that sort of free-flowing kind of football, because Thomas Tuchel is oftentimes conservative in his style of play, in a way. And his teams do not normally give away as many chances as they gave away today, particularly when you go back to those two chances that they gave away, leading to the two goals in the first half. So, it's that. So, fair enough. Let me go. Is that in English? As going to ask a question, let me now ask the question. So, United Vote 10. The idea that Vala should give you her location for you to send her the money, I don't know if that's the mousetrap that is very more suitable to this, but I'll leave issues of the generals to the generals and not interfere or intervene until I'm called upon. You know that thing that they say in church when couples are being wedded. If there's anybody with any reason to stop this wedding from going on, please show your hand or forever keep your mouth shut. So I'm choosing to keep my mouth shut until forever. Let me go get a shower. Okay, United Road, we're gonna divorce. Divorce is when you read the Bible, I think in the book of it's called the book of what? The book starts with a C. Oh, it says God hates divorce. Yes, actually, the book doesn't start with a C. It's in Malachi 2:16. Look for that. So, anyways, I'm not a divorce counselor, so I'll leave that to you. I'm single again. Who is single too? It cannot be that fast. Anyways, guys, thank you so much, United Vote 10. Thank you so much, Viola. Thank you so much, Reluctant Gamer, Imwalia, Lil, Lashkush, Rio Dandy, AK, thank you so much. Adash, Jesus Y815, thank you so much for being part of tonight's broadcast and the cup of coffee. Good morning. Good morning, Viola. Good night, United World 10. Jesus Christ. Paul, Paul something. Thank you so much, KI, Lashkush, PSD. I hope PSD does not stand for for post-traumatic stress disorder. Then stay blink. Thank you so much. Reluctant Kema, Raymond Kangumba, and every single one of you that has been part of tonight's broadcast for the last 2 hours and 26 minutes. You've been such a wonderful audience. Thank you so much for your kindness. Thank you so much for the continued love and support. Let's look to do this tomorrow again, provided God grants us the gift of life, as well as a power, as well as no internet issues. We'll be back tomorrow for another discussion about football, among other things. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of the World Cup. Ghana against Panama is the game coming up next in the next quarter an hour, while then at 5 a.m. you have that game between Uzbekistan and Colombia. Stay blessed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye. Peace.